Good morning and welcome to the CSA School 2023 National Black History Month Observance. I'm Cesar Johnson. I have the honor of being your host of ceremonies for today's celebration. I would like to thank our guests in attendance, staff, instructors, shipmates, and fellow Marines. We have the opportunity today to celebrate Black History Month and a chance to remember and honor the contributions that African Americans have provided toward molding our nation into the America that it is today. February was chosen by Woodson for the week-long observance as it coincides with the birth dates of former U.S. President Abraham Lincoln and social reform Frederick Douglass. Both men played a significant role in helping end slavery. For many modern Black millennials, the month-long celebration for Black History Month offers an opportunity to reimagine the possibilities of life ahead. Celebrating and learning about Black History Month, a nearly century-old celebration of 400 years of African-American culture, matters now more than ever. We will start with the singing of our national anthem by CSA school student Cena Norton, followed by opening remarks from Master Gunnery Sergeant Mayfield of the Marine Corps.
First and foremost, I want to tell the staff, thank you for allowing me to be here to partake in your opportunity in this situation. It's a blessing to be here. Traffic was a little crazy getting here, but I'm happy that we made it safely. I appreciate the invite. And when I first got the phone call from retired Gunnery Sergeant Valle, as a master guns, I'm not used to anybody telling me what to do, right? But when Mr. D calls you, you answer the phone. So, Mr. D, I want to tell you thank you for giving my name up and putting me out there. So, what can I talk to you guys about today? I'll start at the beginning for you. I want to tell you all thank you. Because just like you're standing now, there was a moment where you all raised your hand and you said, I do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. You may have not known what that meant at the moment, but to me, that meant the world. Because you have decided that no matter what, you will protect me and my family. You have never met me until now. But when you raised your hand, you said, I am going to give my life for a stranger. in protection of freedom and the pursuit of happiness. So I thank you for the commitment that you have for this country. But I need you to understand the significance of what you've said and what you're doing. There was a time where you and I weren't afforded the opportunity to serve this nation. Raise your hand if you know anybody that's 75 or 81 years old. Most of us know somebody, right? Believe it or not, that's about how long it was when the Navy allowed desegregation in its ranks. 81 years ago. 75 years ago, the entire Department of Defense said it was okay to desegregate the services. Now, that might not mean nothing to you right now, but I want you to picture a time. I'll tell you a story about me. 1997, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. The Commandant of the Marine Corps at the time, General Krulak, had went down there and got every Marine on the base and blasted them. And he told them that you will not haze anybody. Anybody hazes anybody, you're done. You're no longer in the Marine Corps. Guess who showed up right after that? PFC Mayfield. Right from here from Fort Lee. I showed up and it was like everybody wanted to handle me with kid gloves. But I was also ostracized because they felt like I was being begged by the Commandant, that I didn't have to go through what they had to go through. So they made life a little hard for me. They found different ways and creative ways to initiate me into the fleet operating forces. Now, why am I telling you that story? Can you imagine the first sailors, soldiers, airmen, and Marines who were integrated into the services? The first ones probably felt a whole lot of pain because the old way was pushed out of the way. So although they were the first to integrate with their brothers and sisters in arms, they still were treated and still ostracized in quiet pockets. But they endured through that. They endured through that. I'm telling you that you stand on the shoulders of giants. Because they persevered through all of this, all of the adversity, not only for this nation, but for their neighborhoods. For you and I to serve right now. If they would have quit, they wouldn't have broke those barriers for us to be here. For you, whatever it is, we all joined the service for a reason. We joined for a reason. Whatever that reason is that you joined for, don't forget it. Are there going to be hard days? Yes. Are you going to have some adversities? Yes. Are you going to miss home? Hell yes. But what's back at home? If you joined for a reason, you left that for a reason. Honor the uniform that you're wearing. Because there was people that got spit on. There were people that their bunks were messed up. They had to go in hiding to congregate and learn from one another because their peers felt because of skin color they were different. The military is a microcosm of this nation. So the things that they had to go through, it was something that they had to do back at home. So why am I telling you to be mindful of not going back? I don't want you to forget where you came from, but I don't want you to go back to where you were. You must progress. You must elevate. You must bring us together. And how do we do that? With uniformity and pride in what you wear and how you present yourself to this nation. Because it all connects together. I'm a firm believer if you look good, you perform good. Because we food service, we make food service sexy. But in order to do that, we have to work together. I love home. I'll tell you that first and foremost. And I'm sure you do. But you left for a reason. It is your turn to elevate the neighbor. It is your turn to make equality make sense to everybody. Because the nation watches us. When we go into battle, it's no black or white. It's no black or brown. It's you wear the American flag, I want to take your head off. They don't care. So when you have to defend this nation in whatever capacity it is, whether it's combat service support, what we do as food service, or if you have to pick up a rifle because it just got grilled, you have to protect the sailor, the soldier, the Marine, the airman, the Coast Guard, and probably the Space Force too. You got to protect everybody. Because again, you stand on the shoulders of giants. And I got to tell you, that legacy, that's some heavy lifting. So if you got small legs like me, every day is leg day when you put that uniform on. Because you must uphold that legacy. I challenge you today to uphold that legacy. Understand what your why is. Why am I here? Why am I enduring all of this? Been in the Marine Corps for 27 years. And I ask pretty much every other day, why are you still doing this? Because there's some kids somewhere, on some street corner somewhere, looking for inspiration, looking for hope. And I would like to think they don't have to look at Martin Luther King, W.E.B. Du Bois. They don't have to look for them. They should be able to look at me and say, you know what, I am inspired, I am motivated, I want to push the effort to make this world a better place. So I challenge you, be the reflection of change. Be the reflection of equality. Take care of one another. It's going to get hard. Somebody's not going to like you. Endure. Push through. And I'm not trying to minimize your pain or your suffering, because we all have to go through our peaks and valleys in life. But I just need you to go back just 81 years ago. I need you to go back 75 years ago and realize that somebody had to go through far more worse things than you to get us to where we are now. The job you do back then was the only job that they could do. They weren't seen good enough to serve anywhere else. Fast forward to now, everybody forgets about you until they're hungry. You are the key holders to everybody's morale. Everybody's got to come see you. Understand that responsibility. Take charge of that responsibility. More importantly, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. I want to leave you with a quote from W.E.B. Du Bois. And he says, now is the accepted time, not tomorrow, not some more convenient season. It is today that our best work can be done, and not some future day or future year. What does that mean to me? Your time is now. Change happens now. Change happens in each and every single one of you. Be the change that you want to see. Be the Navy that you want to see. Uphold the traditions that was laid before you. Elevate them. Trust me, the block is still going to be there. There's somebody watching you right now, and they need your motivation and inspiration. Make the change today, because you are history. You're walking, talking history. And it doesn't have to be black or brown. But you acknowledge the sacrifice that was made for you. And bring this nation together because they're relying on you. Thank you for your time and your attention. Semper Fidelis, rock.
CSA School at ease. Thank you, Master Sergeant Sergeant Mayfield, for those heartfelt words on the importance of Black History Month. In hopes of capturing the magnitude of Black History Month, we are going to have a presentation by Seaman Joseph, Seaman Ranger, Seaman Mateer, and Seaman Blake, followed by a highlight of the heroic legacy of the Navy Cross recipient, Doris Miller, exhibited by Seaman Roberts.
3, 2, 1.
Dog that press, what y'all do all the time, say. All the time. But, Mr. Officer, you got to get you some jump there, you got to run right down the just off the man. Run over, yeah, the monkey is gone, but it's dancing in summer, so everybody get me and just party on. Just see me in the street, watch the kids and my dreams, have a giant party. All dancers come together and party. This I got my monkey, get me, we don't get it, every time. Monkey, alright, monkey, wanna dig now, wanna step out, I see. Back up in the like what I see. Back up here, my style, I see. Here, wanna do what everybody, I
Next, we'll have Seaman Roberts, who will represent the life of Doris Miller. Doris Dory Miller, African-American hero of World War II, was born Doris Miller in Waco, Texas on October 12, 1919, the son of sharecroppers Connery and Henrietta Miller. Miller entered A.J. Moore High School in Waco and became the school's star fullback. As the third of 4 sons in a family engaged in subsistence farming, he was forced to drop out of school. He supplemented the family income by working as a cook in a small restaurant in Waco during the Great Depression. Less than a month before his 20th birthday, Miller enlisted in the United States Navy at its Dallas recruiting station. Following boot camp training in Norfolk, Virginia, he was assigned to USS West Virginia as a messman. On December 7, 1941, mess attendant second class Doris Miller was collecting soiled laundry just before 08 a.m. when the first bombs blasted his ship at anchor in Pearl Harbor. Miller went to the main deck where he assisted in moving the mortally wounded captain. He then raced to an unattended deck gun and fixed at the attacking planes until forced to abandon ship. It was Miller's first experience firing such a weapon because black sailors serving in the segregated stewards branch of the Navy were not given the gunnery training received by white sailors. Although news stories have credited Miller with downing from 2 to 5 airplanes, these accounts have never been verified and are almost certainly unheard of. Miller himself told Navy officials he thought he hit one of the planes. Navy officials conferred the Navy Cross on Miller on May 27, 1942, in a ceremony at Pearl Harbor. Following a Christmas leave in 1942, when he saw his home and family in Waco for the last time, Miller reported to duty aboard the aircraft carrier Liscombe Bay, as a mess attendant, first class. During the Battle of the Gilbert Islands on November 24, 1943, his ship was torpedoed and sunk in the Pacific Ocean, and Miller perished. At the time, he had been promoted to cook third class and probably worked in the ship's galley. In addition to conferring upon him the Navy Cross, the Navy honored Doris Miller by naming a dining hall, a barracks, and a destroyer escort for him. The USS Miller is the third naval ship to be named after a black Navy man. To conclude today's ceremony, we will have closing remarks from our officer in charge, Chief Warrant Officer Johnson.
Morning, motivators.
Good morning, sir.
Give it to me. Morning, motivators.
Good morning, sir.
All right. First and foremost, I would like to thank the organizational staff for putting this presentation together. And thank our guest speaker. Everybody give a round of applause for Master. So, service members, we're here today to celebrate Black History Month and recognize the many achievements that have been accomplished by our service members, past and present. Just like Master Guns Mayfield said, we stand on the shoulders of giants. And we must never forget their dedication and service to our country. During Black History Month, we must take time to learn about the many incredible leaders and trailblazers who have laid down the foundation for where we are today. Even though the fight is not over, we must continue to inspire change for our military and our communities. Some of you might say, sir, how do we do that? How can I inspire change? We can inspire change by utilizing something that is so powerful to all of us, that each of us have.
Some of you like say, what is that? It's our voice. Each and every one of you have a voice. Never let anyone silence you from speaking what is right. So, I like to put analogies on everything. Everything I do, I always like to put analogies. So, I want somebody to tell me, what is a thermometer? Say it loud so they can hear you.
Take your temperature.
All right. Somebody tell me, what is a thermostat? A thermostat. What is a thermostat? All right. Used to regulate the temperature in a space, right? So, what's the difference between the two? A thermostat and a thermometer. One takes the temperature of an area, right? One regulates the temperature of the area. Guess what? I want everybody in this room to be a thermostat. To be a thermostat. Like, what do you mean, sir? To be a thermostat. I want you to regulate the tone for the environment that you're in. If you go into a space and there's hate, discontent, guess what? You are the thermostat. I want you to regulate that. I want you to use your voice to make a change in everything that's around you. You can control your environment. Utilize your voice. Leadership just does not exist in our history books. We must continually inspire those who serve today. We must continue to learn from the examples of those pioneers and leaders, as well as the service members who serve it today. As we continue to do this, we must remember diversity is one of our military's greatest strengths. It's one of our greatest talents. Teamwork and a wide range of perspectives that pushes us forward to go from good to great and be able to fight and win. Our military prides itself with developing leaders who, in many cases, despite the overwhelming odds and challenges and bias, serve with honor and distinction. Every month, not just this month, is an opportunity for us to celebrate and renew our commitment and our shared guarantee for equality for all. I want to thank you that you guys chose to serve. Like Master Gunn said, it sounds a little familiar, like, what is your why? Guess what? I have never met Master Guns before in my entire life. But how many times have I told you, remember, what is your why? What is your why? He's a leader in the Marine Corps. I'm a leader in the Navy. Even though we wear this camouflage uniform, guess what? We're all the same. We're all fighting for one great cause. I would be ignorant to say that racism does not exist in our militaries. Racism does not exist in our communities. I'd be ignorant to say that, because it does. But guess what? Everyone in this room can inspire change. Everyone in this room can inspire change. I tell you the story, right? You know, everybody know I worked for many presidents, 3 different presidents. But guess what? I mean, it's still hitting home for me, right? I'm going a path of working out more, doing things, trying to get myself more fit. Most of you guys, have y'all ever heard of vitamin I? I'm like, what? Like, I never heard of vitamin I. Like, what is vitamin I? Never heard of that, right? Guess what? It's not on the 13 vitamins that you guys heard, right? It's a new one. I'm going to just throw up in there. Vitamin I. Vitamin I is I want you guys to start investing into yourself. Invest into yourself. Invest into your military, invest into your communities, invest into yourself to make yourself a better version of today. That you make yourself a better version of yourself. Now, how long do we get to do that? Guess what? Each and every day, we get 86,400 seconds to make ourselves a better version than we were yesterday. 86,400 seconds to make ourselves a better version of what we were yesterday. If you don't use your 86,400 seconds today, guess what? Tomorrow you get another 86,400 seconds to invest in yourself. Please continue to invest in yourself. Invest into your community. Invest into where you want to be in life. All right? I want y'all to give it to me. When I say it's too easy, you gotta say it's too easy. When I say we got this, you say we got this. When I say all in, you gotta say all the time. All right, here we go. It's too easy. It's too easy. We got this. We got this. It's too easy. It's too easy. We got this. We got this. All in. All the time. All in. All the time. All in. All the time.
Thank you, sir. We would like to extend a thank you to everyone that came out to join us and partake in the celebration of National Black History Month. This concludes today's ceremony. Please join us in a cake cutting ceremony and a special meal prepared by Class 13. Leadership take charge.
All right.